So hi everyone. We are Silvia and Arturo Escobar from Escobar Homes and Family. We are realtors with Keller Williams, and we love to do these workshops that are informative for the community at large in the Chicagoland area where we serve. And we like to hear about what the topics are from our clients that they really need information on. And today we are talking to Teresa and Lupe from the Cook County Assessor's Office. And they're going to be talking to us about the exemptions and making sure that you're taking advantage of the opportunities that are out there for you so that you don't pay more property taxes than you need to. And so we're going to give this time to Teresa, who's going to do the presentation. And I believe Lupe will be on the chat. So if you have any questions, you can either ask Teresa or you can put it in the chat and Lupe will answer your questions. So Teresa and Lupe, thank you for being here. And let's get on with it. That'll be great. Thank you.
All right. So everyone, I know you have your cameras off, but let's give the Escobars a round of applause for having us here. Give yourself a round of applause because you could have been anyplace else, but you decided to spend it with us. And right now, I feel like we're family, right?
Mhm.
So if you have your dinner, your drinks, like I have my sparkling water, I'm sure my director Lupe does too. This is our favorite drink. So let's get started. We won't take up all your time, but if like Sylvia said, if you have questions, drop them in the chat or feel free to ask them at the very end. Is that okay? All right, so let's get started. And again, thank you for joining us. Now, we're going to be talking about property tax savings. And again, I am Teresa Chandler from the Cook County Assessor's Office and also Lupe Marin. So, property tax savings and exemptions. That's what we're talking about here today. Now, what are the responsibilities of our office? Our office, the Cook County Assessor's Office, we assess over 1.9 million parcels. That's throughout this whole county. That's from the north to the east to the south. That's the whole county of Cook. Now, we also administer tax savings exemptions that contributed to lowering your property tax bill. Now, what the Cook County assessors do not do, we don't set your tax rates, your levies, we don't mail out your tax bill, and we don't decide how much that tax bill is going to be. Those are things that we don't do, okay? Now, what we do offer are very, very excellent exemptions, and we have 8 of them. And so at this moment, I'm going to go over each one of them and their eligibility. Number 1, let's talk about our homeowners exemption. Our homeowners exemption and this eligibility, you must own or lease or have a contract for this property in which you live. It must be your primary residence, and you must have lived in this house as of January the 1st, 2024. Now, if you recently, say, purchased a newly developed home, and it wasn't ready January the 1st, but you happen to move in, say, March 5th or the 9th of 2024, that exemption, the homeowner's exemption, of course, will be prorated. Now, each year, once you apply for this exemption and you apply on time, that's by the deadline, you don't have to apply every year. It is automatic. Now that's wonderful, isn't it? You don't have to apply. It's automatic. That is a great exemption and a great savings. In addition to the homeowner's exemption, we have what you call the senior exemption. Now, the senior exemption, I don't see anyone on this call that's a senior yet, but anyway, you must have been born in 1959 or prior, right? And you must live in this home or have a lease or equitable interest in this home, and it must be your primary resident at some time of 2024, which was last year. That means you don't have to have lived there January the 1st. You could have lived in there February or March or April of 2024. This exemption also automatically renewed because you're a senior, you're 65, you're not going to get any younger. You might feel better, but you're not going to get any younger. So we've made this exemption auto-renew. In addition to the senior exemption, we have an exemption that's called the low-income senior assessment freeze. Now, many of you, if you've heard something about this, you heard about the senior freeze. Well, we've changed the name, and I'll tell you why in a second. In the eligibility for the low-income senior assessment freeze is this. You must have been born, like the senior exemption, in 1959 or prior. Your total household income, that's you, David, or Linda, or Adriana, your household income must be less than $65,000. That's the gross income, okay? That's everyone in the house. So let's just say Silvia and Arturo were your kids, Linda, but they had income coming in. Their income combined with yours must be less than $65,000, okay? And that's your 2023 income that we're using, because it takes actually 2 years for you to receive the savings on your senior freeze. Now, this exemption does not automatically renew. Why? Why doesn't it automatically renew? Because seniors' income could possibly change. So therefore, it does not automatically renew. Sometimes they take out money through their IRA and things like that. They inherit more money, so they have to add it into their income. So this exemption does not automatically renew. You have to apply every year. And so this is the reason why we call it the low income senior assessment freeze. It's because of these 5 benefits, these 5 programs. Now, if you qualify for one of these 5 programs, you do not have to provide our office your income. Now, I think that's just very, very just promising. You know, it makes you feel good. I don't have to find my income tax papers or anything like that. So if you belong to the Aid to the Blind, the AABD program, or the SNAP program, LIHEAP, or the Benefit Assets Program, or the Senior Citizen Real Estate Deferred Program, which is through the Treasurer's Office, you do not have to provide our office with your income, okay? In addition to this low-income senior assessment freeze exemption, we have what you call the Persons with Disability exemption. Now, our office don't have a physician on staff, of course, but you must have been, in order to be eligible for this exemption, you must have been disabled or become disabled in 2024, have a lease or equitable interest in the home. It must be your primary residence, and you must have been on there of January the 1st of 2024. Now, if you are not disabled or you are disabled, in our office, we can provide you with a form that's called the PTAX 343. It's one of our physician statements that you can take to your primary care doctor or your optometrist, and they can fill it out. This exemption automatically renews every year. Again, I want to state, if you are disabled or the person that resides in a home with you that's on the deed, take this form to your physicians or your optometrist, let them fill it out, and you bring it to our office. You don't have to apply every year once you have applied by the deadline. Again, as I stated, we had 8 amazing exemptions, and this is another one. It's called Veteran with Disability Exemption. Do we have any veterans on this call right now? Okay, just in case we don't, I'm sure you know of one. And we just want to give them a round of applause because they served our country. So we want to say thank you for serving our country. Now, in order to be eligible for this exemption, you must be an Illinois resident who have served in our United States Armed Forces, National Guard, or Reserve, but you must have had an honorable discharge. And that's key. You must have been service connected. Now, what is service connected? Service connected is that you were actually injured during the period that you were in the military, not shoveling that snow out there that's about to come tomorrow, or last week sometime, but actually injured during the period that you were serviced in the government reserve forces or the National Guards, right? Your household, it must be your primary residence. But we do have some changes here. We have veterans who are deemed permanent or total disabled. This exemption for them, they don't have to apply every year. Every other person have to apply every year because the exemption, their percentages can change by year. So if you're deemed permanent or total, you don't have to apply every year. Only the VA, the Department of Veterans Affairs, provides us that letter that you need, okay? And as you can see, our percentage of disability on this diagram here, it shows you if you're 30 to 49%, service connected, that's the key, injured in the war, you receive $2,500 off of your EAV. And what is that EAV? Equalized assessed value, not off your tax bill, okay? Also, if you're 50 to 69%, you receive $5,000 off your EAV, equalized assessed value. And if you're 70% or greater, I will say that you don't pay property taxes on your home if it's less than $250,000 in equalized assessed value. Okay? I know that's a whole lot to remember, right? But you can take a picture of this right now, and it's pretty much self-explanatory. Okay? Now, we also, in addition to that, disabled persons veterans exemption, we have what we call a returning vet exemption. And so this exemption is for Illinois residents who served in the armed forces or the National Guards or the reserves returning from active duty. Active is the key. Active duty, and not back in World War II or something, but active duty, okay? And this must be your primary residence. You must have a lease with equitable interest in it. This must be your primary residence as of January the 1st of 2024. This exemption does not have to be renewed every year, okay? It's an automatically renewal. Now, this is an amazing exemption as well as the other ones too. It's called the long-time homeowners exemption. Our long-time homeowners exemption is what it states. You must have lived in this property for 10 years. And those 10 years are from 2014 to 2024. However, there is an income requirement. That means you and your significant others, your household income must be less than $100,000 or less for 2023. Yeah, 2023. And the third requirement is that your equalized assessed value of your home, which is that EAV again, those acronyms, you'll get it. Just write it down. EAV means equalized assessed value, must have been increasing over the course of the years. Now, the great thing about this, you don't have to worry if you qualify or not, right? And you can say, why not? Well, because our office, we identify those properties who actually qualifies for this exemption. And only about 2% of people actually qualify. Now, we don't know your income, but what we do know, if your assessed value has been going up and up and up. And so it identifies all of those properties who actually qualifies. Now, is there room for mistakes? Can we make a mistake and not send you an application? Sure. Do you believe you qualify? If you do, give us a call and we could check our system to see if you actually qualifies for this exemption. As I stated, we don't know your income, but we do know if your property value has been changing during the course of those years. Now, we also have what we call a home improvement exemption. Our office just covers multitude of exemptions throughout of everywhere. So this is just fascinating that we offer so many exemptions. You know, I would be surprised if we come up with another exemption down in state legislature, but This is one of the ones that's called the home improvement exemption. And so what does this do? It allows you, the homeowners, to make improvements that increase your home value, without being taxed up to $75,000 to the added value. It's kind of confusing, but what you do is, let's say this. First of all, let me just tell you the eligibility. It must be a residential home. Okay, that's number one. And this exemption automatically applies. So let's just say Lupe had put a dormer on her home. Her home was worth $100,000, right? And she made some home improvements. But Lupe has to pull a permit by a reputable developer or a contractor that can fix a home. Lupe just cannot go and get John Joe, the handyman, to put this dormer on her house. A permit has to be pulled. Once that information is into the system, our office will retrieve that information based on the permit, okay? And if she makes up to $75,000, that $75,000 of that added improvement will not be taxed up until 4 years, okay? So you don't have to apply for it. You just need to do the right thing, pull a permit, and not let John or the handyman down the street add this square footage to your home. Now, there are some things that are not covered, and they're all on our website. So make sure you check out the things that is not covered that's included for the added value of your home. Of course, it would add value, but it does not allow you to qualify for this home improvement exemption. Now, after all of that talking, now how do I know? Where can I find my exemption? Well, you ask a great question. You will find your exemptions on your second installment bill. Yes, the yellow bill. I equate that blue bill that we just received, that's the winter bill. Why? Because most of the times we receive it in the winter time. It's still snowing. And the yellow bill, I equated it to the second installment bill, the summertime, because it's when it's warm outside. All of your exemption, all of this valuable information is found on your second installment in the lower left-hand corner where it says tax calculator. You should see a dollar amount. If you apply for it and you receive it, you shouldn't see a zero there if you apply for the senior exemption, the homeowner exemption, or the senior freeze, okay? Now, this is something that we added because your tax bill has changed this year. And actually it was that's last year this has come out. But the Cook County Treasurer's Office, Maria Pappas' office, she did a fabulous job of showing you the breakdown where your dollars are being spent. Your taxing district, it's very important because people say, where's my money going? Well, here it is on your second installment bill. You can find out all of this information that a lot of your money is going to the park districts and the colleges, even if you don't have kids there, or if you're not even attending there, the water reclamation, the library fund. It shows you the breakdown in your district. So every district, property tax district, will be different on how those money is being spent. This money that's shown here, it tells you what is needed in your community to run your district. And that's what this is about. How your tax dollars are being spent. It's the breakdown, okay? Now, as I talked about the exemptions and the eligibility, you can apply for them online. When I first started, many, many years ago, I won't tell you guys because you'll tell my age by then, but anyways, when I first started, it was all paper. We get paper cuts everywhere, but now you can apply online. Why? Why should you apply online? Because it's very efficient and we can locate your application. You have a filing number. You can do it in the comfort of your own home, your laptop, your iPad, your cell phone. It's that simple. And you can upload your documents at the same time. So apply online. You don't have to rush downtown or any one of our 4 branch offices to stand in those long lines. It's that simple, okay? And you must create an account and have your email address handy. Now, in addition to all of that, on our website, our office at the Cook County Assessor's Office, we're very transparent. All of your information in regards to your property and information can be found on our website. In addition to the exemption information, you can check your appeal history. And that's another, maybe what Escobar's, we'll probably have another meeting about how to file an appeal and why you should file an appeal. So we'll probably have another workshop concerning that, your assessment history, and read about your assessments. So all of this information is probably sound new to you if you're a new homeowner, but no worries. You are in the right hand. Silvia and Arturo, they know this stuff. And so that's why they bring us out. And so we'll probably have a workshop based on that. But this is information that's on our website, and you can find it and locate it at the www.cookcountyassessor.com. Now, our most common questions that we get, and I won't go over the answers to them, but these are most common. Why did my homeowner's exemption change? I'll just go over a few. Because the homeowner's exemption, it fluctuates, okay? The homeowner's exemption is 10,000 times your tax rate. So everyone's tax rate is different. And that's how you calculate your tax rate. Where are my exemptions? People are coming to our office now. They receive their first installment bill, and they says, where's my exemption? My exemptions? Well, your exemptions are on your second installment bill, that yellow bill that you're going to receive in the summer. And what if I was eligible in the previous years? If you were and you paid those taxes, you can apply for certificate of errors. What are certificate of errors? Refunds, chain money that's due back to you. And you can apply online for this. Remember, all of this information is online and you can apply online. Now, the last question here on this FAQ, and these are the most common ones that my director Lupe has come up with. What disability qualifies for the disabled exemption? Well, as I stated earlier, our office does not determine your disability. That's why we depend on your physician's statement. That PTAX 343, it's up to you to provide it for our office. Now, you can have up to 4 exemptions. You can have the homeowners, the senior, the low income assessment senior freeze, and the person with disability. Got it? Now, what you can't have together is the long time and the senior freeze because they're income based. So 2 income based, you can't have both. Either you have the long time or you have the senior freeze. Okay? Now, I guess these are the last 2 FAQs. When will the senior freeze income threshold change? Well, that's something that's not controlled by the Cook County Assessor, Fritz Kagi himself, but for down in Springfield for our state legislator. Now, recently, over the course of the years, at one time, the threshold was 55,000. It's now 65,000. So it's changed. And it will continue to be evaluated by the state legislator. Now, lastly, our last question is, what does not qualify from a home improvement? Well, that's all on our website. But just to give you a few ideas is roof repairs, your gutters, a new garage door, those things, you know. If you remodel the bathroom, when you add square footage, those are some of the things that count, okay? Now, we are here to help you all. Just like Silvia and Arturo Escobar. We're here to help you. We are a team, all right? And just consider that. Connect with us on our social media. You can also make an appointment. If you want to go to our office, if you just want to just come and visit us, make an appointment. I suggest to beat those long lines. And we have 4 offices near you. Sign up, please. I encourage all of you to pass this information, to sign up to receive our emails from our office. And if you can right now, if you can just take out your phone and you can hover over that QR code, that you see right there, and you could relink right now to our link tree, with so much valuable information that will be beneficial for you and your family and your friends. Okay? Now, I want to thank you for attending our workshop. We want to give the Arturo and his wife a round of applause again, and yourself. And I'm sure my director, Ms. Lupe, has answered all the questions.
Awesome. Thank you, Teresa. Thank you, Lupe. And you heard Teresa, you heard it here. They're going to come back and do another workshop. So
Yes, for sure.
yeah, that'll be awesome. Just so everyone knows, we're going to take this recording and we're going to be sending it out to everyone so that everybody has it for anything that you didn't catch. If you didn't catch that QR code or anything else in the information packet, it'll be in the recording that we're going to be sending you this week. And then are there any other questions? Does anybody have a question that they'd like to get off of them or turn their mic on and then ask a question? Feel free. We have a few more minutes if you'd
I
like.
saw that Linda dropped the question of, I found your website, but where do I find the history of my property? To answer your question, Linda, you have to either search by your address or by your PIN number. So once you enter our website at the Cook County Assessor.com, if you scroll down, there's a search bar that says enter 14-digit PIN, or you can search by address. So if you don't know your PIN, that's okay. You can search by address, and then once you find it, it'll give you all of your history. At least for I think we go as far back as like 3 to 4 years, if I'm not mistaken, on our website.
Mhm.
Anyone else have a question?
Just to make sure, hi, this is Adriana. I received the first installment property tax bill. So you say that I'm gonna get the second one in the spring, and I don't have to do anything because I already did this online the last year for the last 3 years. So if if I'm eligible for a refund, is going to be on the mail, so I don't have to do anything. Am I right?
So are you on the homeowners exemption already? Did you apply last year?
Yes, I
So
did.
then that way it's automatically renewed. You are not doing any refunds.
Oh, okay. So I'm not going to receive any refund or
No refunds. You will only receive refunds if you didn't apply for your prior year's exemptions.
oh, okay.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you. And I have another question
Sure.
about the improvements in the house.
Yes.
So I need to go to the website and check which ones apply for the.
You can go on the website and check which ones apply, but as I stated, if you pulled a permit, right, and you had a reputable contractor, we
Okay.
will receive that information. You don't have to apply. We're going to send you the application,
Okay.
but you still can check to see if those items that you repaired in your home or you fixed or remodeled, to see if they qualify.
Okay. No, I'm just asking for the future. If
Oh, for sure.
yeah. Okay, thank you.
Sure. Thanks for asking those questions. That's a great question. Are there any more questions?
Okay.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, just a reminder also, this is really important information. And I was telling Teresa and Lupe that a couple of years ago when we did this workshop, people came to us and told us that they had followed all of the steps that had been shared and they were able to get some money back for some of their taxes. So if you know someone who lives in Cook County who could benefit from this, if once you get the video, feel free to share it with other people
Yes.
because that's helpful information that not everybody has access to or doesn't know that it exists. So please feel free to share that information with others. And
You know
so,
what? I want to say one thing too, and make sure that they have your phone number too as well, so
yes,
that they can contact you guys from that video and say, hey, I watched that presentation,
Yes, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. We are here to serve you guys. As we mentioned, we are realtors, and so any information, any questions that you might have regarding your home, regarding the value of your home, regarding anything that has to do with your home, we can either answer your question or direct you to somebody who can, as can Teresa and Lupe. So we are all here to serve you guys. Any questions that you may have, and we will send you all of that information when we send you the video. Thank you, Teresa and
Thank
Lupe.
you guys for having us. Thank you all for being here. The Cook
Yes,
County
thank you.
Assessor loves every time we're out here and that we can serve the taxpayer of Cook County.
Yeah, thank you. We love you guys, and thank you for being so clear in your explanations of everything, and for being here in the late shift,
Yes.
the second shift here. Thank you for being accessible. So,
Alrighty.
if there's no more questions, then you guys all have a good night,
You
and
too.
being here.
Bye-bye.
All right.